day, Christians and friends of Sspc. Welcome to the second edition, the November edition of our news bulletin. I'm Jose Eyong.
And I am Gwen Songwe. We have a packed program for you in this edition. As we approach the end of the year, it is time for us to celebrate Thanksgiving and thereafter start the season of Advent in preparation for Christmas.
We hold hands around the table, bound by a vision embodied in our mission statement, which is the Spirit of God calls together in witness, celebration, and struggle. As followers of Jesus Christ, we seek to be a people of vibrant faith, proclaiming the gospel, living the word, and serving each other and the world as a community of God's responsible stewards of God's grace.
Sspc is happy to welcome 20 new members who joined our church in October. The diverse group of new members did attend a new membership class on October 18th. They learned about the history of Sspc, the different committees, and the expectations of new members. Our church is reborn every time we welcome new members. To God be the glory as they make Sspc the new spiritual home.
The Christian Women Fellowship, the Christian Men's Fellowship, backed by the Christian Youth Fellowship, had a spiritually uplifting rally in Houston, Texas. This event started on Friday, October 30th, running through November 1st. Let us now go to our pastor, the Reverend Curry, for a summary of the event and a message on the life of our church.
Greetings and welcome to this, the second edition of the Sspc Round the Table newsletter video edition. It's a great joy to bring to you this second edition of the newsletter, to have the opportunity to share with you news of the life of Silver Spring Presbyterian Church. I particularly want to share with you what's been happening this November. I had the honor to attend the national rally of the Christian Women Fellowship, Christian Men Fellowship, Christian Youth Fellowship here in the Presbyterian Church USA. This national rally took place on November the 1st in Houston, Texas, hosted by St. Paul's Presbyterian Church in Houston, Texas. It was an incredible event, an incredible gathering of the movements of Christian men's, Christian women's, and Christian youth fellowships to celebrate and give praise and honor to God. The rally began with an initial gathering on Saturday with an all-day retreat where the women and men all gathered together to learn and grow in God's love and God's Word. And then on Sunday, the rally officially began. There was over 300 people there gathered for this rally. About 120 of those came from Silver Spring Church. We had the largest group in attendance, and it was an incredible gathering. People who had traveled many hours and even days to get to Houston for this incredible event. It was at St. Paul's Presbyterian Church. And the rally began early on Sunday morning with singing and evangelization in the neighborhood around the church, and then with the rally itself beginning in St. Paul's Church. The rally included a dedication of new members of the St. Paul's Christian Women's Fellowship and the formal inauguration of the Christian Men's Fellowship at St. Paul's Church as well. It was a great day, a great rally. The rally continued with welcoming messages from leaders of the Presbyterian Church USA's national headquarters. The national president of Presbyterian Women came, as well as the national staff person of the Emerging African Ministries Unit. Reverend Samuel Atiemo came and brought greetings from the National Church. We continued with great singing and particularly in the afternoon with the singing competition between all the groups. And each group came and did a tremendous job presenting the theme of this year's study in song and in presentation. And I am pleased to report that the Christian Women's Fellowship of Silver Spring Presbyterian Church was the winner of the singing competition this year, coming in first place. Tremendous job done by all the groups there. The National Rally was a first. It was the beginning, the inauguration of a national movement of Christian men, Christian women, and Christian youth fellowship in the Presbyterian Church USA. Beginning of a new movement, a start of a new day. And this is an incredible, wonderful celebration of the call to mission in the Presbyterian Church USA and in God's kingdom. A great day indeed. The other events in the life of Silver Spring Church in November, we were witness to the celebration of the life of Jean-Marie Chikoko that took place this month. Our brother passed away, and we celebrated his life at the funeral and celebrated his gifts, his ministry as a member and an elder here at Silver Spring Church. We remember him, celebrate him, and give thanks for his eternal life in God, in Jesus Christ. And we moved into the Thanksgiving season with our annual Thanksgiving Sing that we share with our sisters and brothers from Tikvat Israel congregation. A wonderful gathering of opportunity to give thanks and praise to God. Thanks to God for all of God's blessings in song and in praise. Thank you, Lord. And all of this is in preparation for and beginning to move into the Christmas season. Advent begins in just a few days, and we will prepare our hearts for the coming of Jesus Christ in our lives, for the birth of the Lord, for the preparation of our Savior, Jesus Christ. We move together in love. We move together in faith. We move together into Christmas with Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Curry. We will now go over to Pastor Lakeisha for a message on thanksgiving and spiritual enrichment for the season of Advent.
Hi, I am Pastor Lakeisha Bradshaw Easter, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to come and inform yourself, to connect with us here at SSPC, specifically about the events of the next few weeks as we enter into the joyous season of Advent. Christian education is going to be bouncing all over the place. We have something happening every single week, and we hope that you and your friends and your family find at least one event, one program to come to, take time to slow down and really remember the reason for the season. Next week, November 29th, is the first Sunday of Advent, and all the children of SSPC will receive their own personal Advent calendars that were made especially for them, and they count down the days to Jesus' arrival on Christmas. And in each box of the calendar, there's something that they need to do. Like, for example, on this day, they can tell a friend one thing that they like about them. So it's teaching kindness and generosity all the way until we get to the 25th, which is something the kids really enjoy. So this is something that they do with their families. Then we also have every year our Advent prayer group. And this year it begins Wednesday, December 2nd. And our theme will be Foundations of Christian Faith. So these are some of the books that we will be working with. And we will be giving away surprises and gifts at every class. So every Wednesday night beginning December 2nd at 7 p.m. and it will be potluck as well. So it's right around dinner time. It's a good time to come and fellowship and pray together as a church family. On November 6th, Sunday, November 6th, we will do our annual caroling at Althea Woodlands Nursing Center right here in the SSPC community. We walk through the neighborhood and we sing Christmas carols until we get to the actual nursing home, and then we bless the guests there, the residents and guests there, with song. And we are also blessed because we get a chance to visit and do a good service for the community right here in our own backyard. And then one of the most exciting things of the Advent season is December 20th. It's our annual children's play. All the children and youth get to participate and sing and tell the story of Christ's birth. And I hope that everyone comes to worship and participates in at least half. That's what I'll suggest. Half of the events. If you can make it to all, it's good. But if you don't make it to any, just always keep the children and youth. And I will be praying for you as well. And I wish you peace, spiritual health, and joy, not only this holiday season, but throughout. Amen.
Pastor Lakeisha, thank you for your message. On November 8th, the SSPC celebrated All Saints' Day. This is a day we remember, give thanks, and celebrate the lives of those of our church community who have passed into eternity. The church has a memorial garden which was established in 1976. It has bronze plaques that are pasted against the wall, and each person is connected to SSPC either as a member's relative, or close friend. We will reflect on the lives of Bill Stockton, Vincent Manjo, Milky Mulkey, and Marvin Cottrell.
Bill Stockton was born a Presbyterian in Paris, Texas on July 30th, 1929, and died a Presbyterian in Washington, D.C. on October 9, 2014. In the dash between those two dates, he lived an amazing life, working full-time from age 14 until the day before he went to the hospital, never to return. He also found time to marry Irma Ford and enjoy 3 daughters, a perfect son-in-law, 4 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. For 3 years, while in med school, he and Irma got on a bus in Oklahoma City at 5 a.m. and rode 3 hours to Surrey, Oklahoma, where he preached and led worship in a small Presbyterian church. His first calling was to go to medical school and then to the missionary field in Africa. He was under the care of the presbytery for that goal as soon as he started medical school. During those years, he became more and more aware of his empathic listening skills and began to consider another specialty, psychoanalysis. His internship and residency were at Walter Reed Hospital, and his psychoanalytic training was with the Baltimore, D.C. Psychoanalytic Institute. Dr. Stockton was a very active member of Silver Spring Presbyterian Church, which he joined in 1958, serving on session, singing in the choir, and listening when someone just needed to talk. When he retired to Port Republic, Maryland, he continued to care for patients pro bono. At his memorial service, 3 people said, "Bill Stockton saved my life," and many others spoke with great emotion of how this man had impacted their lives. The wonderful memories of him help to get those who love him through the pain of his absence. On a personal note, to appreciate Dr. Stockton's unique talent, if you haven't done so already, get his acclaimed book and read. Now It All Makes Sense. He addresses the mind in its multi-layer complexity, including its rich connections with the heart and soul.
Vincent Manjo was born to Jacob Wiranka Manjo and Celine Bongshu. He was baptized and confirmed at the Presbyterian Church in Shishon, Cameroon, and was an active member of the church. In 1971, after leaving secondary school, he worked for Press Book Printing Press, a Presbyterian bookstore in Victoria Limbe, Cameroon. Around this time, he became a member of the Christian Youth Fellowship, where he met Emma Fon, who would later be married to him. In 1980, Vincent left Cameroon for the United States to further his studies. Vincent arranged for Emma to join him in the United States in 1984. Vincent earned a Bachelor and Master of Business Administration from the University of the District of Columbia in 1984 and 1987, respectively. After working for a few years, he went back to school to study nursing at Marymount University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Vincent was dedicated to four things in his life: his family, the Presbyterian Church, his community at home, and the Bui community in the diaspora. Vincent and Emma had 3 children. While in the United States, Vincent was an active member of the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church and attached a lot of importance to culture and participatory community development, especially that of his fatherland, Nso. It is for this reason that he took an active part in organizing the Bui community in the USA. His organizational skills and love for his kinfolk earned him the traditional royal title of She, and he had an unbeatable record of attending the BF/USA annual conventions since its inception. It would be noted that he barely missed the last convention in DC, which started a day after his departure from this world.
Affectionately known as Mickey, she was born in Washington, D.C. She lived in the Wheaton, Silver Spring area until she married Dennis Mulkey in 1965. She graduated from Montgomery Blair High School in 1965. She worked until 1969 and became a full-time mother when Malana was born in 1970. When Malana started school, she returned to work and then enrolled in college, earning her Bachelor of Science degree in business, magna cum laude, continuing to work full-time while getting her degree. One of her many long-term positions was as SSPC's church administrator. In 1990, she became a grandmother when Amber Michelle was born. She was blessed to become a grandmother and then a great-grandmother in 2015. Throughout her life, Mickey had an enduring love for and connection with children. Mickey was pure in heart, always seeking peace, never initiating conflict, and tolerating all variety of people and opinions without ever compromising her own integrity.
Marvin was born on March 24, 1935 in Dresden, Kentucky, to Leona and Oscar Contrell. He was one of 5 children. He was raised in Harlan, Kentucky, and attended Hall High School. Following high school, Marvin called in the military. He was a sergeant in the 7th Division of the U.S. Army. He was offered a promotion to staff sergeant to re-enlist for a second tour, but turned it down as he promised his parents he would attend college. He attended and graduated from Eastern Kentucky University. Upon completion of college, Marvin was employed with the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory for 35 years, retiring in 1995. Marvin served 15 years on the APL Federal Credit Union Board of Directors. He helped the APL Credit Union make great strides in financial services, both as a director and a member of the credit committee, and he earned the friendship and respect of members, volunteers, and staff. Marvin joined the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church in 1968 and was active member for 47 years. Marvin was preceded in death by Betty Contrell. Marvin and Charlotte were married on April 7, 1995, combining Marvin's three sons, Mark, Kevin, Shannon Contrell, and Charlotte's two children, Joe and Becky Privots. He was a husband, father, pops, grandpa, pawpaw, friend, buddy, mentor, and lover of sports of all kinds, especially the Redskins. He was deeply devoted to his grandchildren, AJ, Adam, Madeline, Owen, and Matthew.
This year, SSPC is hosting our friends from Tikvat, Israel, for our annual Thanksgiving Sing service. Let us now go over to Jose Mundi, our correspondent covering this event.
Thank you. Welcome to the 11th annual Thanksgiving Sing service at the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church today, Sunday, November 22nd, 2015. This is a special interfaith service by Synagogue Tikvat Israel and Silver Spring Presbyterian Church. Those for this evening will be Cantor Rochelle, Helmsner, and Curry Burris. Special music will be provided by the combined choirs of Tikvat Israel, SSPC, and Kol Halev, and CWF, CYF, the Shalom Voices, Chai Dynamics, Ein Klein Tikvat, the combined Francophone choir, special vocalists, and instrumentalists. I'm looking forward to this show.
Yeah.
like to introduce our first guest, Miss Ayuk Parker. We'd like to ask you some questions. First one is, how did you like the show?
The show was great. It's like, every year gets better. And it's a wonderful ecumenical activity that SSPC has been involved in for over 11 years. And every group is involved in it. And it's just wonderful where we all come together and praise the Lord in different languages. And you just see that God understands every language. That's something I like about the show. So that's one great thing.
Is this your first time coming to the show?
No, this is about probably 10 times. I've been here several times.
What is something that you like about the show?
The greatest thing I like about it is, first of all, we CWF members were supposed to participate in ecumenical activities, and coming with Tikvat Israel every year is ecumenical to us, because it's a different congregation and we're able to mix, as God's people. God is one God. That's what I like about it. And another thing I like about it is the singing. We kind of singing in tongues, and it's wonderful singing different languages.
Thank you, that'll be all.
Thank you.
Welcome everyone. I'd like to introduce our first guest, Cantor and Rochelle. We have some questions for you. How do you like the show?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was a real sharing of music and of spirit and diversity of music and a real connection between all the people who were there. I loved it.
And what's your favorite thing about the show?
One part of it that I liked particularly was when the choir went into the congregation chanting the words Kosi Rivaya, my cup overflows, from Psalm 23, and interacting with the congregation and everybody shaking hands and looking at each other and smiling, and it felt like blessings overflowing.
And what's the history behind the show?
Well, we've been doing this for 11 years, but my congregation has been involved in the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church for, maybe 30 years. There was a congregation here called Temple Israel, which is now Mount Jezreel Church, and they used to do things together, and that congregation closed and moved to my congregation, yet we still continued our relationship together. So it's been a long relationship. With all the crisis that's going on in the world, the fact that we can get together and share songs of praise and thanksgiving is a real blessing, and that we can enjoy and appreciate the diversity of those songs. God willing, we'll be able to do more of this and more, and have the world join us.
We want to thank you for being here. I had a really great time coming to this service, and yeah, you've just been so great.
Thank you. You're a great interviewer.
The director of music here at Silver Spring Presbyterian Church, and I should like to take a few moments at this time to talk to you roughly about 4 things that have happened and that will happen in the very near future in the course of December. If you were not with us yesterday evening, you missed a wonderful evening. We had our 11th annual Thanksgiving scene with our brothers and sisters from Synagogue Tikvat, Israel. And we were joined also by members of the Shirat Chanefesh congregation and a variety of other Jewish community groups from the greater metropolitan area. We had a wonderful evening of music, about 80 minutes, and all of our choirs here at Silver Spring were also featured, including some of our members from our French-speaking congregation. They meet in the afternoons on Sunday. As I said, we've been doing this now for 11 years, but the cooperation between the church and the synagogue goes back more than 40 years. As we also commemorate and remember the victims of the Holocaust each year in April together. We had a wonderful time. What most people probably don't know is the two cantors who participated, Cantor Rochelle Helsner and Cantor Ramon Tassat, are recording artists in their own right and respected in their community. Cantor Rochelle is a recognized voice and specialist in what we would call European Jewish music, and Ramon is a recognized recording artist and specialist in what we call Sephardic music, Sephardic Jewish music or Ladino music, the music of Spain and of North Africa in that part of the community. So it was a wonderful time to have them with us. Some of the special highlights last night were Pastor Curry's dulcimer solo. Everyone appreciated that. The combined choir did a verse from Psalm 23, Kosi Revaya, which means my cup overflows. And as the choir was singing, they went out among the congregation, among the people in attendance, and it was a very nice icebreaker. It changed the whole atmosphere and dynamic of the evening. Also greatly appreciated were our young ladies of the Shalom Voices and our members of CYF, the Christian Youth Fellowship. Afterwards, practically everyone in attendance either came up to Pastor Curry or to myself, even to the cantors, to remark how much they appreciated Shalom Voices and CYF. Our French group was also appreciated. And the other thing about the evening was, it was our largest group gathering yet to date. It was grand last year, it was even grander last night, and we all look forward to the 12th edition. Secondly, as we transition from Thanksgiving, we move into the Advent Christmas season, a time of a lot of music in the life of the church. Over the next 4 Sundays, we will be anticipating Christmas Day. All of our groups will be featured as usual, but for example, the Sunday before Christmas, this year the 20th of December, we will also have 1 or 2 extra groups, in particular the group that call themselves the aunties and grandmas of Sspc. They're always a delightful bunch, thoroughly energetic, and they lead us in a couple of special songs in Metta, in Mongaka, and possibly also in Douala. We will also feature a lot of our teenagers who are learning to play, among other instruments, piano, violin, and the tuba. Looking forward to the tuba solo. It'll be the first time that young junior Joko will have played the tuba in church. Others will be Emanique Fusi on violin, Nadia Mundi on piano. Jose Mundi has agreed to learn a nice jazz rendition of A Christmas Carol, and they're some of the ones who will be featured, among others. We will also have our youth handbells, the Appealing Youth for God. They will be offering a traditional French carol on the bells, as well as our slightly older youth handbell group. They will also be offering a more traditional English carol on the bells. Christmas Eve, we will have all of our groups together. It will be a combined service with our French congregation. So our music will be in Douala, Mongaka, in English, in Latin, in French, maybe even a little Spanish, to give the flavor, because Christmas, it is the one section in the Bible, in the New Testament, where practically everything is music. The angels sing, Simon sings in the temple, Zechariah, John the Baptist's father, sings, Mary sings, and all of their songs will be featured either as anthems or will be sung by the congregation at some point. In addition to the more popular carols that everyone knows, Joy to the World, O Come All Ye Faithful, and the like. We always use the 5 big ones the Sunday before Christmas and on Christmas Day. And on Christmas Day, there will be a lot of activity, a lot of special music, big service in the morning, followed by a French service in the afternoon as well, with special moments for the kids. And also during this Advent time, our CYF, the Christian Youth Fellowship, will offer a special Christmas concert Saturday evening, December 19th at 7 o'clock in the sanctuary. And it will be a wonderful program. They've already shared with me what will be included. There will be several traditional carols. There will be some Cameroonian carols and choruses, as well as 1 or 2 special numbers that they have been working on very fervently since the end of the summer. You will not want to miss it at all. Very lively bunch. We will also have a special New Year's Eve service, which again will feature the music of just about all of our groups and choirs. It's a special way to begin the new year. There will also be communion during that service. And again, it will be a combined service with our afternoon French congregation as well. A third thing that comes to mind is talking about Christmas. Give yourself a Christmas present, at least for the new year. Make it a New Year's resolution. Join a choir, join a group. We need your voices. All of our groups need additional voices, because with more voices we can prepare special anthems. For example, the chancel choir this year will be preparing a special anthem based on the Song of Mary. It's a new setting. It's a very singable setting, which is also quite unusual for that particular set of words. You won't want to miss it. But another reason for joining a choir to sing is music provides a great memory aid. As studies are showing, one of the last memories to go are songs. It consists of songs that one learned in childhood. So Christmas carols in particular, that contain the story of the faith, they're usually one of the last things a person's mind will hold on to. In point of fact, the person who donated the piano at which I'm sitting at the moment, one of her last Christmases with us, she wouldn't talk, and she would often forget where she was. But as soon as the Christmas carol started, she could sing every word. She didn't miss a note, she didn't miss a pitch. It was a lovely person. But as soon as the music stopped, so did she. So music, participating in a choir, is quite good for you. And finally, one fourth thing. As we come to the end of this short time together, I'd just like to say to you and to yours, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Joyeux Noël et bonne année, Feliz Navidad и prospero año, и с новым рождением Христоса, и с Новым годом. Thank you.
The Silver Spring Presbyterian Church has a vibrant and dynamic Francophone, or call it French-speaking service that holds here in church at 4 p.m. on Sunday. We are blessed to have the pastor of this particular French-speaking service with us here in the studio. Welcome, Reverend Jenko.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I learned you went to Cameroon. How was your trip?
What's a good trip?
Okay. So when you are out like this, who helps to lead worship?
It is a pleasure for me to be here, and I thank you for this opportunity. I would like to take it and share with people of God about French service of Presbyterian Church. Permit me to say it in French.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it's about a French service.
Okay.
Alors, c'est un plaisir de faire connaître la communauté activité en langue française naissante ici à Silver Spring. C'est vraiment un plaisir. Chaque fois, il est important d'avoir peut-être quelques petites dates pour se situer. C'est en 2011 que les responsables de la Silver Spring Presbyterian Church avaient autorisé Madame Chouangeb Justine de l'EEC et ses compatriotes à s'organiser en communauté francophone pour célébrer les cultes en français et ces cultes ont lieu les dimanches à 16h. Il faut noter que le 18 novembre 2012, l'anniversaire de l'établissement de cette communauté comme ébauche de paroisse francophone au sein de la Silver Spring Presbyterian Church a eu lieu en présence du président général de l'Église évangélique du Cameroun, le révérend Isaac Batomé Unga. Et donnant lieu, suite à une demande d'encadrement exprimée par cette communauté, le président général a demandé au pasteur que je suis, pasteur Njike Justin, qui disposait déjà, parce que je disposais de quelques attaches dans la zone, qu'en plus de mes responsabilités du pasteur activité en langue française à Douala, de superviser cette création et de faire des visites de reconnaissance, de prospection et de contact pour la mise au point. Donc c'est depuis 2013 que je viens ici. Mais de temps en temps, je retourne parce que j'ai cette responsabilité de la paroisse à Douala. Et chaque fois que je suis là, il y a une organisation, une commission de supervision qui encadre un grand comité de soutien de 50 membres, une commission de liturgie, une jeunesse assez dynamique, un groupe de femmes de l'UFC, une chorale unie en Christ, et puis ces mouvements et ces chrétiens toujours volontaires et dynamiques qui se mobilisent.
Okay, like I just learned you said it actually started in 2013. So my next question was going to be how long have you been pastor here? So it's automatically you've been here for 2 years.
Oui, ça fait 2 ans
So
déjà.
approximately how many members do you have on a given Sunday?
La Presbyterian Church, le service en français, est une composition de plusieurs personnes. Ils sont au Cameroun d'origine de l'Église évangélique du Cameroun, de l'Église presbytérienne du Cameroun, de l'Union des Églises baptistes, bref, de la plupart des églises du Sspc au Cameroun. Et on compte, c'est vraiment variable. À Pentecôte, par exemple, dernier, nous avons célébré la fête avec environ 300 membres, mais régulièrement à l'église, on compte 120, 150. Dimanche dernier, nous étions 147, et avec des enfants, bien y compris, bien entendu.
Okay. So what is your vision? What do you see in the horizon with the Francophone service?
Oui, vraiment, cette paroisse a beaucoup d'attentes. Nous voudrions rassembler le plus possible de chrétiens qui, d'expression française. Nous voulons une communauté grande en qualité, grande en effectif, bien entendu, pourquoi pas, si le Seigneur le veut bien. Mais nous voulons que la jeunesse qui donne déjà un ton dans sa maîtrise de la chanson puisse être davantage présente pour réveiller cette communauté, pour la redynamiser, parce que toutefois elle est encore très jeune. Et notre vision est qu'elle soit solide, qu'elle grandisse, qu'elle devienne un grand arbre sous lequel plusieurs peuvent s'abriter. Voilà vraiment notre vision, d'avoir une communauté solide où les hommes rencontrent le Seigneur Jésus-Christ, découvrent ce que c'est que la naissance, la nouvelle naissance et grandissent dans la foi en Jésus-Christ.
Okay. Do you have any challenges as pastor?
Oui, il y a toujours des défis à relever. Le défi, c'est que les membres qui sont actuellement présents, nombreux déjà, parce qu'après 100, une centaine de personnes, c'est déjà, il faut saluer. Le défi, c'est que ceux-là deviennent des chrétiens de qualité et qu'ils soient des chrétiens capables de porter l'évangile à d'autres et qu'ils soient missionnaires, que chaque chrétien soit un missionnaire. Et il faudrait que mon rôle, c'est d'impulser aux uns et aux autres cette dynamique, d'être vraiment enfant de Dieu et de partager la foi avec les autres.
Thank you very much, Reverend Junku, for taking off time to speak to us.
Merci.
And may God bless
Thank
the
you very much.
Francophone worship service.
Thank you
for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
At SSPC, we have 3 fellowship groups, the Christian women, men, and youth groups. This month, we feature the Christian Youth Fellowship Group, and we are pleased to have their president, Mr. Lovett Asanji, with us in studio. Welcome, Lovett.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gwen.
When was your group formed, and how many members do you currently have?
Well, the group was formed in December of 2013, and as of now, we recently have about 18 members who are actively involved in the group practices.
What does it take to become a CYF member?
Well, we don't really have any specific requirements as far as the movement is concerned, but the movement is really open and free to everybody, regardless of your background, your denominational differences, or your race.
Is there an age limitation?
Yeah, there is an age limitation. You actually have to be from 18 to 30 in order for you to be a member of a CYF.
Okay, I see that you guys no longer wear the white t-shirt and you actually wear red. Is there any significance to the red, and is that going to be your new attire going forward?
Based on the uniform, it is because of the information which we actually gathered from the PCC, which really restricted us from using the regular uniform, which is the white and the black. So the group decided to look different in attire, and we decided to put on the red shirt over the black to look different from the PCC, the youth movement under the PCC.
What has the group been up to lately?
Before I answer that question, let me go back to the significance of the uniform. The uniform, as right now, we don't really want to attach any significance to that, but because on the reason being that the session hasn't given any approval to that, and the group hasn't really been fully recognized as a movement under the PC USA. Then, as far as what the group is really up to, the group recently take part in the rally in Texas, of which about 10 members out of the 18 actually traveled to Texas to take part in that rally. It was really a great experience for the movement, being a very young movement under PC USA, to witness such an event to take place in Texas.
Do you guys have any upcoming events you would like to tell us about?
Sure. As of now, the group is actively preparing for a December concert, which is, we are looking forward to have it on December 19th. And we really, really want to encourage all the Christians, not only within the SSPC congregation, but around the diaspora, to come and witness the event for themselves. And the occasion basically will be, we will have other groups coming from different congregations who will be taking part to in singing, which the music will range from classical to traditional pieces of music. So everybody is welcome. It's going to be a free concert, but any donations are welcome for that.
And where is this event going to take place?
It's going to take place in Silver Spring Presbyterian Church.
December 19th. Is your group having any current challenges at this time?
The only challenge we have right now is how we can be able to fetch new members for the movement, because when we try to talk to youths of the congregation, they tend to tell us they don't know how to sing. But for me, I believe as in God's house, nobody knows more than the other. So everybody is open to always come and bring in new ideas, because with new ideas we can do greater things for the movement, which you will ever love to be a part of that change in the group. And secondly, we also have a challenge of how we plan to expand the movement to other churches under the PCUSA. So those are really the little challenges we are facing right now, and we hope that as the time goes by, maybe some other challenges will come, but for now, those are the really two that I can talk on.
Oh, okay. So youth of SSPC and in Maryland, you've heard the call to join CYF. Thank you so much, Lovette, for coming in and taking the time talking. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
In this season of Thanksgiving, we would like to spotlight the work of our missions committee, particularly their work on the Shepherd's Table. We have with us today a longtime member of the SSPC and the missions committee leader, Dan Pete. Dan, welcome.
Thank you.
What exactly is the Shepherd's Table?
The Shepherd's Table is known as a soup kitchen. What that means is this is a place where homeless and poor people can come to get a free meal every evening at 6 p.m. The meals are cooked by a professional cook, and they're very balanced and excellent meals.
Okay. And where exactly is this Shepherd's Table located?
Well, the address is 8210 Colonial Lane, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20910. And that means it is on Georgia Avenue opposite the Fire Station Restaurant.
Okay. And if someone were to volunteer at the Shepherd's Table, what exactly will be his function, his or her function?
Well, there are several duties. Usually 2 or 3 people will stand at a steam table and dish out the chicken and rice and vegetables or whatever, the hot food. Then there's 2 or 3 more people later on in the same room will dish out the bread and desserts and coffee and tea. Meanwhile, usually 2 or 3 other volunteers will be back in the kitchen washing dishes. And then 2 or 3 more volunteers will be on the main floor where the people are eating and drinking, and will serve as do bussing the tables. That means taking the plates and dirty dishes and forks and so on back to the kitchen to be washed.
Okay, so how often does members of the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church come out to help at the Shepherd's Table?
Silver Spring Presbyterian Church has been sending volunteers to Shepherd's Table on the second Thursday of each month. And we've been doing it since the spring of 1987. That's more than 28 years.
Wow, that's wonderful. So does your committee have any upcoming events for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yes, we always do. And let me tell you when we're going to make the announcement about those Advent programs. On Sunday, November the 29th, we'll have announcements and details regarding shoebox gifts for the homeless and also our coat drive. On December the 6th, we'll have an announcement about Church World Service blankets, which members are urged to donate for. On December the 13th, we'll have donations towards caps and mittens for poor children. And then on December the 20th, we'll have an announcement about the Joy Gift, which goes towards retired Presbyterian ministers and Presbyterian colleges.
Dan, thank you so much. Your work is so incredible because it's so wonderful, to help people who are less fortunate to get help, to get food. Thank you for being part of us. Thank you for giving us time to interview.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Good to be here.
With sadness, we announce the passing of Mr. Jean-Marie Chokoko. Jean-Marie, longtime member and elder of Sspc, passed away after a brief illness. He slipped into eternal rest in the arms of God on October 18th. Mr. Chokoko was very dedicated to his family and a friend to everyone with a heart of gold. He was a warm, extremely giving, reliable, dependable, and beautiful individual. His funeral service was held at the Silver Spring Presbyterian Church on Wednesday, November 11th, followed by interment at the George Washington Cemetery in Adelphi, Maryland. Mr. Chokoko leaves behind his wife, 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and many others who miss him dearly. May he rest in perfect peace.
The yearly joint session and deacons meeting took place on Wednesday, November 18th. Deacons provided updates on their families. Membership status was updated to reflect those who are no longer in SSPC and those who are inactive.
Pledge cards were dedicated on Sunday, November 8th. You are advised to turn in your pledge cards if you haven't already done so to any member of the Stewardship Committee.
Thanksgiving services were rendered on Sunday, November 15th, led by the Christian Men Fellowship and the Christian Youth Fellowship, and on November 22nd, led by Bethel Choir, the Shalom Voices, and the Chancel Choirs. The Thanksgiving session continues on November 29th to be led by the Pastors Group, which is the congregation at large, and on December 6th by the Christian Women Fellowship to finalize this segment of Thanksgiving.
After service on Sunday, November 15th, the Christian Education Committee had a family movie day event in the church library. The movie scene was Unconditional. Thanks to all those who showed up for this event. Your continued participation in Christian education and all other church events is appreciated and encouraged.
There was a health fair after service on Sunday, November 15th. Services rendered included flu shots, blood pressure, and sugar screening. Flu shots were administered to over 60 members of the congregation. This event was organized by the worship committee and Mr. Greg Kum. Thanks to Nevis Nje and his Walgreens pharmacy colleagues who provided and served the shots. Our next health fair is tentatively scheduled for the first week of February 2016.
Following our SSPC tradition, the following services will take place next month. Christmas Eve candlelight services, Thursday, the 24th at 7:30 p.m. Christmas Day service, Friday, the 25th at 10:45 a.m. New Year's Eve, Thursday, December 31st at 11 p.m.
The Communications Committee is in the process of setting a prayer line for members and friends of SSPC. This will be a dial-in virtual prayer meeting led by our pastors. This will give a forum for us to stay connected to God in prayer through our church, in fellowship with our members. More details to follow in the coming weeks.
It is time again when we acknowledge birthdays. In the month of November,
happy birthday to Celine Asanji,
Celine Atanga,
Comfort Mba,
Elizabeth Ndanga,
Felix Werenge,
Francis Apimakwao,
George Asanji,
George Ashu,
Ifa Ambumu,
Irma Stockton,
Jim Schaefer,
Joyce Awuro,
Jones Ngunda,
Nicolene Fobe,
Nanita Mbaza,
Samuel Achimbi,
Regina Ayompe,
Stephanie Asongfo,
Sharon Fontem,
Vincent Wanyama,
Vera Mobele,
Yufanyi Mundi,
We'll leave you with the presentation of the Youth Handbell Choir and an encore of the SSPC All Saints presentation. I am Jose Iyong.
and I am Gwen Songwe. Thank you for watching.
And until the next edition, that is in December, remain blessed.
I'll swim through the sea. I'll climb to the mountain tops. Won't you come follow me? I'll take time to notice all that I see. And after I've come so far, you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. But life is a vision, that's how it should be. The world is a canvas, and the choices are free. At the end of the journey, where all is complete, they'll all wonder where I've gone, but you know where I'll be. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home. I'll fly away, fly away, fly away, fly away home.